who doesn't? Am I right? No, I'm just kidding. Shit, man. So, what's up, everybody? I'm Jeremy, and let's try that again from the top. In 3, 2. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for stopping by. I'm Jeremy, and this is my new interview series. I've pre-recorded several episodes. It is the end of the weekend. It's on Sunday, the 10th right now, and I am joined with special guest Ian Elliot-Carter.
How to do?
I've been saying welcome back, but I guess if this is the first show that you guys are seeing on this channel, welcome to the show, Ian.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, nice to officially meet you. We've collaborated several times on People Are Terrible and Movies Are Terrible. He keeps on telling me he's gonna get me on the Controversity sometime, but I guess I keep missing the invitation. What do you got to say about that, bro?
I apologize. You sure did put me on the spot. I think this is what this is all about, huh?
Yeah, I need you to put that light above your head and down so we can make this look like an interrogation. That's fucked up.
No, it's happening, man. I had you on my old show, which was the Intellectual Controversy. But
you did.
I need to do better with my content. I have a lot of stuff I need to about myself. It's just being in a new place. I've been very, very busy trying to get a feel of everything and be a father as well. So, but it's coming. Don't worry.
I feel bad about this now. I did not mean to put you on the spot that much. It's not a big deal. I know you've been busy, man. You grew up in Panama City, and which is, it's close to Pensacola relatively compared to where you're at now. And you spent a lot of your life there. How has it been, like, I don't know, reconfiguring and trying to readjust in a new city?
It's difficult at times. I was brave about it because I've always been wanting to leave Panama City, like, since high school, but I never got a chance to. I've always kind of been stuck there. Then I got the chance to move here, and I was like, all right, I don't care. Away from these hicks, I'm going to do my thing, which I definitely don't regret moving here, but I do. There is some struggles. Like, for example, my town's not that big, so I'm used to knowing everywhere I'm going. I'm not used to running into 50 people I know wherever I go. Here, I haven't even hit the surface of any place I know by heart. I'm always using my GPS. I'm just not used to that.
Yeah.
And I'm meeting new people, but it's just like, I don't know. It was easier to do that in a smaller town. So, don't get me wrong, I love it here, but yeah, that's the obstacles and challenges here is just adapting to somewhere that's bigger than I'm used to.
Yeah, I can relate with that a lot, growing up in a relatively small town, and then just being so in your oats at one place for so long, you eventually do know a good group of people that have been around like you have, whereas being in bigger cities, it's like, with more people there, it's almost less opportunity to, like, engage one-on-one, it seems like.
Absolutely. Everything's so fast-paced, too, man. Like, I know this is going to be hard to explain, but I mean, like, Panama City, I can just talk to somebody and they understand what I'm getting because they understand the city. But if I, like, talk to somebody here, they're so fast-paced because it's a city. It'd be like, hey, get to the point. What do you want? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, wow, rude motherfucker. But, like, they gotta realize where I'm from is more southern, and we take our time and stuff like that. I'm not used to the city vibe, I guess.
Ironically, you're further south now, and people say that about Florida. Like, the farther south you go, really, the more north you are.
Florida's
which makes
like
no fucking sense.
It doesn't. It's really the Benjamin Button of all the states. Like, the more south you go, the more progressive it is.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. I've never really thought about it, but Florida is the Benjamin Button of states. So I was doing, like, I got super motivated last week talking about making content, and I was like, I'm gonna start a new interview series. I'm going to get all these episodes in the can so that I can release them over a period of time and not have to worry about the production schedule or guests not being able to show up and stuff. And I thought it all
Right.
out, and I was like, the premise of it is going to just be like a off-the-cuff conversation, no sort of scripts, no sort of docket or nothing pre-planned. We're just going to have a conversation, and wherever it goes. But it's inevitably going to go to topical shit. Like, it's impossible not to talk about what's going on. So where I was originally thinking I was going to release these podcasts an episode at a time, one a week, I'm like, man, by the time I get done with this 8th, not the one today, but I've got several more interviews scheduled. By the time I get done with the 8th, it's going to be 2 months later from whatever we were talking about. It's going to be so old by today's standards. So I'm like, all right, well, now I'm going to release them 2 at a time throughout the week. But it's inevitable. Like, if you're talking to a person and you guys haven't had a conversation in a while, it's impossible to not be like, hey, have you heard about that Michael Jackson documentary? Because that's what everybody's talking about.
Hot topic, yeah.
Have you seen it?
I've seen part of it. I have a lot to say about it, but I really, I just want to throw it out there before I say anything. I haven't finished the whole thing, so I could change my mind after seeing it. So, but yeah, I've seen about 30 to 40 minutes of it.
I hear it's pretty damning testimony.
Yeah. It's definitely detailed with personal stories. Evidence-wise, it's lacking, but it's I could see there's possible truth to it, but then at the same time, like when you compare it to something like the R. Kelly thing, say example, R. Kelly's was a 6-part documentary with people that were in his family, people that were his friends, people that he dated, people that were around him, people that were staff with him. There was no getting around the stuff going around with R. Kelly. There was so many people with their stories about situations that happened between a huge timeline. Michael Jackson's situation is 2 boys and their mothers.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any family members, doesn't have any friends, doesn't have any people that worked at Neverland, which I saw the landscape in Neverland. They had to have like a Disney type of staff. It was huge.
That's crazy.
It's not really much to talk about with it was just 4 people. So I don't know if you get what I'm getting at. Like
no, I do 100%. When you've established a timeline and a pattern.
Yeah.
But that said, the dude really, if he's 100% innocent, and I was talking to my buddy the other day, and he said, if he's 100% innocent, it's still weird. Like he opened himself up to that kind of scrutiny, whether he intentionally did or not. And, for each of those male victims or witnesses, let the courts decide, I guess. I don't know. I haven't seen the documentary. But for each of them, there's a Corey Feldman and a Macaulay Culkin that have come out and defended him. So I found that most people seem to have had a very emotional reaction to it, where you're kind of approaching it pragmatically, which is commendable, just because, like you said, I mean, there's no real evidence and the dude's not around to defend himself,
Yeah, that's what I thought was weird about it. I had this theory too, like as educational and beneficial as the R. Kelly one was, because it's obviously worked, because he's definitely gonna do some time. I think that HBO and that guy that directed it was like, wow, that was successful, because it was successful, and not only got a lot of awareness, but it did bring a lot of ratings and money to the Lifetime network. I think that HBO was like, oh, let's jump on the trending topic. Let's do somebody that everybody else knows was accused of the same thing, Michael Jackson, which was, in my opinion, a huge cash grab and pretty unfair, because it was pretty one-sided. And they're protesting his stuff now. That I saw that the Simpsons don't want to play episodes with him. There's like people pulling their music, and it's just like, come on, man. That's pretty unfair. That's just my opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean, there's this thing.
And you're right. And I forgot to mention this, Tony. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I wanted to say something that you said, that he was weird. I don't think anyone debates that. Michael Jackson was a huge weirdo. I would not. As much as I'm defending him right now, I would definitely not let my son be alone with him. I don't think anyone debates that. And yes, he was a huge weirdo. I'm not going to use that excuse of he didn't have a childhood, but no. He was a freaking weirdo, but is that illegal? No. People are weird all the time, and people like that don't understand weird and don't understand stuff that they don't know. They make their assumptions. So I could also see the point, like, oh, he's a freak, he's weird, he's always with kids. Let's jump to the biggest conclusion we can with that. He's a pedophile with no proof, because people could believe that because he's not like us.
Yeah, and because we've seen predatory behavior before also. I think there's something to be said about that, because it's not like it's unheard of, and that's unfortunate, but you put people in trusted positions in control of children, and a lot of times, and obviously not more than not, but whether it be coaches, fucking school counselors, it's like the people that have access, and that's why, like you said, as a parent, you just generally don't allow the access. There is got to be some accountability on their parts. Was it because they were starstruck? Is it because they wanted to extort them later? Were they really just naive, or did they like believe what he was saying? You know,
I agree 100% with that. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I love celebrities, I love my shows, I love my music. There's a lot of celebrities I would probably get starstruck for. But there's no celebrity on this planet that can get me be like, oh, I love you so much, Larry David. You want to sleep with my child in the same bed? Sure, Larry David, do whatever you want. I'm so starstruck, I can't think straight. No, it's gonna be a no every time. I love Seinfeld, I love Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's still a no, Larry. No.
Why did you got to bring Larry David into this? What did Larry David do?
That's just somebody I would be starstruck if I met. That's what I'm saying. Now you're picturing in your head Larry David sleeping with kids.
That's dude. Immediately. It's been broken here, folks. You heard it here first. Oh shit. Just kidding. Larry David's a good dude, but yeah, no. There's a lot of those like true crime documentaries and exposés on celebrities and all that have become like pretty popular again, but it is a conversation worth having, I think, as we enter this new world where everybody's private lives and their public personas are so intertwined that like we connect the dots between what a person thinks and believes as a person to what their roles as actors in movies are. And if we don't agree with their ideology, we boycott their art and all this stuff. And Michael Jackson's not the only weirdo artist that has existed over time. Like, there's lots of really eccentric people that do really brilliant shit that contributes to the zeitgeist, and they are fucked in the head, you know?
Yeah. I think that comes with when you're a great content creator or just great creator in general, you're very artistic. You see the world differently, and when you see the world differently, you're not going to move the same way everybody else does. Yeah. And, you know, when you don't conform to that certain line, when you're turning this way, when everybody else is going that way, they're thinking, what is wrong with this guy? Thanks.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I think it does take a little bit of there's some sort of almost delusional nature to the idea that people are gonna be able to move to Hollywood and become the next big celebrity, and probability wise your chances aren't good, but if you don't take the leap it will never happen. And taking that leap takes a little bit of just like, well, I might just splatter on the ground down there at the bottom of this skyscraper, but I might be able to make it to the other side. Here we go, you know?
Doesn't that terrify you? Like, I know me and you probably have the same mindset of like, if we had the opportunity to be famous, like a famous reporter or a famous reviewer, actually in movies or comedy or something like that, we would probably take that opportunity. But like, you know, it's always, like you said, it's always you're up and then you're down. They either love you or hate you. And like, I don't even like nowadays when I see what people do to people, like as soon as they disagree with them, it's canceled. And hey, they're racist or they're sexist or they're homophobe, but they need to apologize for this, that. The mob is coming for everybody. Doesn't it like scare you? Like, is that fame even worth it? Like the money, the girls, whatever. But like, is it worth just like having nothing in the end and people hating you and wanting you dead?
It's definitely crossed my mind before, and that is, it's like one of the first things that a person who would want to destroy or defame either of us would be to go through our old content, and both you and I do the kind of material that's like really off the cuff, not a lot of preparation put into it, yet we're hitting on like big topics, and a lot of what I say at any time could be taken out of context. They could grab that one little clip out of the video that made me sound like a horrible person, not realizing that I was either joking or I was speaking as a different person in that particular section, or maybe I just straight up said something ignorant, and now all of a sudden they're going to weaponize that and fucking turn me into something. Like you said, they just throw you out.
It makes me scared for my son, actually, because like me and you are enjoying this new stuff right now, this technology where we're Skyping, we're doing interviews, we're podcasting, we're YouTube and stuff like that. We've been doing it for a while, but it's fairly a new concept, like in the overall timeline of humanity. By the time my son and even like, kids his age and younger get to our age, this is going to be like a norm. Like, okay, we perfected what me and you are trying to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
And they have no room for mistake. They have no room for, changing their mind, because our generation is showing them that you can't make a mistake or change your mind, because we will come for you and, it's over. And it's tough for them. Like, I hope we get better before he gets to our age.
So what if people learning so, like back in medieval times, if they took you out into the courtyard and flogged you or freaking poured hot wax in your ears or something, it's definitely going to deter other villagers from doing the same shit that you just did. So maybe this public shaming is going to socially bind people into a situation where they have to act a certain way and have to conform to this new set of standards that's imposed by, I don't know exactly who, I guess society, and it's ever shifting, and in a lot of ways it's good that it does, but like I feel like in a way all of the pointing the fingers on either side of the political line and saying this person's a hypocrite, and they're like, well, this person's a hypocrite, and it goes back and forth to all of a sudden everybody has to be so concerned about like microaggressions and stuff like that.
If you can't find something flawed about somebody in a certain section, you keep looking hard for a flaw, you're gonna find it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who's the poster boy right now, and this is funny because I was listening to a podcast like last week, and somebody mentioned John Legend and his wife, which I love. I think they're both great. I love John Legend's music, and I think his wife is hilarious. And they always have good points politically, but they sure do point out a lot of people's flaws, and they are very, very vocal. And it's not that I'm praying for somebody to point out their flaw, because I don't want that with anybody, but like, I do think he has them, and she does too. And people are looking. There's people that wake up in the morning looking for flaws in other people, and like, it's gonna come to a point where we all just have to put our hands up.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do after that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like that James Gunn situation was kind of from him pointing his finger at people and being like, politics, and then some right-wing nutbag jumped in and was like, I'm gonna fucking ruin you, and almost maybe succeeded. Dude,
yeah.
I go to movies every single Thursday. Well, lately it's been a slow movie season, but typically I go every single week. I went on a Saturday night last night, and I have never experienced the amount of security that was in place for a movie. And I wanted to ask, is it because it was a Saturday, or is it specifically because of the movie?
What were you saying, Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I mean, there's a lot of bullshit threats and talk when the movie came out, which I saw a little bit of a bootleg earlier today.
Yeah.
On a personal level, not the best Marvel movie, but it has nothing to do with people's free hate for it, because it's because of things she said, which was taken out of context, and being a woman, and I don't know. It's so stupid. It's a bunch of people that have no profile pictures and no friends they're just talking their shit. Like, and it's like I said earlier, it's just people that get up in the morning wanting to do that more than, us casual moviegoers. And it's hard to criticize a movie like that too, because like you don't want to agree with the douchebags that have their free thoughts about the movie.
100%. Yeah, I'm actually going to see it again at 3:15 today because I saw it last night and I felt like I missed something. And I literally did miss something because I fell asleep for like 5 minutes in it. And when at the very post-credit scene, that cat pukes up something really specific, and I was like, where did that thing come from? And Victoria's like, dude, that was like a big part of the movie. And I'm like, yeah, I might need to go see that again. Which it happens in it happened to me in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 as well. So it's not the only Marvel movie I've ever seen that put me to sleep, but there hadn't been many of them. So yeah, I'm gonna check it out again.
Well, and back to what you said about the upping of the security. I think we've said this before on your it might have been my podcast, but it sucks in this situation because I think it is specifically the movie that had the people on edge a little bit because there's extremists in nerd extremism. Isn't that fucking weird?
It's real weird.
It's very weird. If you're a fellow nerd like me and Jeremy, they're just like, whoa, that's not our lane, guys. Let's take it back a little.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always wanted, actually, and this is weird, I'm gonna say that I actually wanted more security in theaters and public places. And let me explain it real quick anyway. As it's more of my gun debate conversation. I just think we can fund more into metal detectors and patting somebody down for a minute like they do in big stadium, like football games and basketball games. I'm for that though, just to prevent like shootings. It's like the old West when they used to check your guns at the door. They were very, very pro gun, but at least they did that at least. So that's just my opinion on like maybe gun rights, right? When we live in the state of Florida, where you can just tote it around like the old West. That's my way of like trying to compromise with somebody. I don't want to take away your guns, but I do want to be safe in a movie theater.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't disagree with you. To me, it's kind of like the scales of, do I want security or do I want convenience? Do I want security or do I want convenience? Because if I would have wanted to go out and get popcorn or a soda after initially getting in there to get my seats, I would have had to go through that like literal checkpoint again, and that would have taken a lot more time to get back into a movie specifically. But at the same time, I 100% agree with you, because if it's just a few extra steps of precautionary measures to keep something like that from happening, then who am I to say that, my convenience is worth more than somebody's life? It's illogical on one hand, but at the same time, it's like I was kind of like, oh, this is lame. Why do we live in this world? It was more like, and like, I understand the need for it, but it's still like, it bothers me. And then you get into the movie theater, and before the credits start rolling, it's like, locate the exits. If any shit pops off, make sure that you fucking duck and hide. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man, this is new.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, yeah, that it is annoying. It's just something to get used to. But it's a lot of people say that if you try to take away everybody's gun, it's not going to stop gun violence. But aren't you for something that's reducing it? And I think you said that you agree with that. But
yeah, no, 100%.
We live in an impatient time. We're just like, come on, man. Like, this is taking 2 seconds of my time. I have shit to do.
I get mad when they card me for my AMC stubs.
I literally have patience tattooed right here because I have an issue with patience. So I had to remind myself, chill. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, everything's a fucking ordeal for me, man. I had this guy sitting next to me last night in the theater, and he had like, it might have been leather, but I have a feeling it was pleather. And the fucking jacket was squeaking the entire movie, dude. I'm like, I'm going to kill this motherfucker. And he's drinking an icy. And every time, because an icy, like, you stick the straw on the bottom and you're inevitably going to suck all the juice out of it to where all you got's ice. And then he starts fucking rocking that drink back and forth. And I'm like, oh, man, this is the worst.
Oh, shit, I know exactly what you feel. I hate it. My
His
girl's a
jackets.
nicer girl too. She always has to get one. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you just got to stick the straw like halfway down. I think that's the solution.
Ah,
I don't know.
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was talking to Caleb earlier, and we were going over stupid inventions, and like I thought it would be a cool topic, and it was. I was kind of looking for inventions that people actually use, and most of the ones that came up are like the most obscure, stupid inventions that you could ever find, and then we were looking up like state laws that were dumb, and apparently in Colorado, idiots can't vote. So I was wondering what you think about that policy.
Well, now I can see why Colorado was more progressive, but no.
Well said.
I guess how did they determine that? Like an IQ test or something?
That's what I said.
It's weird.
That's a good question. How does one qualify as an idiot? IQ test, maybe they're like, yeah, you can vote, but first you're gonna have to say the alphabet. Oh, you failed. You're an idiot. Yeah, I think that should be a national policy. But how do you quantify?
Yeah, that's very weird because I don't know. Because I feel like we're all idiots in certain aspects.
Yeah, that's true.
Like there's people I know for a fact I'm smarter than, like, logically and textbook wise. I have conversation with these people. I'm like, wow, how did you survive high school? I don't get it. But they are living better than me. They've definitely succeeded in life because they understand $1 or math better than I do. So I'm just like, that's my thing. Like, okay, you could probably do math better than me, but like you don't know like basic, I don't know, basic history or basic common sense shit. So like they might be a genius in math, but they deny like World War II happened. I don't know. It's,
Right, yeah.
Like that. You're just like, they're doing better at you in life because they understood better things than you. But then you have a normal conversation with them, like, wow, you're a fucking moron.
Yeah.
They can't say that they are not allowed to vote because they're smarter than me in certain areas.
No, I 100% agree, and I think that's like real assessment of myself as well. Like I'm a idiot when it comes to money, especially. Like maybe I just never make enough money, but the fact that I live in the neighborhood that I do is even like if I lived in a lower income area, I would have more money, but I would look more poor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you make the dumb decision to look less poor and live more poor. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Welcome to
Shoot,
America.
I used to live by this toothless meth head idiot redneck. And he made a great living off of welding. He knew everything about you. Ask him, he could give you everything that's in a book. And he made he could beautifully do it like you would see in with like skyscrapers, stuff like that. He was really good at his craft. And I was just like, wow, you found your niche and you stuck with it. I can't even be mad at that. But I'm not going to ask him to, help me with any of my college work.
Right.
He'd be like butterfly, boat, yellow, green, 2. He'd be, it's the pointless conversation.
Yeah, I mean, shit, like some people are more like math inclined. Some people are more like literature inclined. I think I leaned more into the literature and history side than I did I like science too, but math was never my strong suit. That was the one place that I had to study.
I saw this meme, I'm just like you. I saw this meme where this kid was like in science class, he's like, he was getting all hype, and he said it was like me getting excited about science, and then out of nowhere, it was like this guy that's supposed to represent math, and he's just like, hold on now, you need some of me in here, so don't get too excited.
yeah, coming in to fuck up the party.
Exactly, and that was me too in school. I used to I like science too, but like when it got to the equations stuff like that, I'm like, why do we have to mix the two? Let's desegregate this shit.
Yeah, that's a good point. It comes up, especially like in chemistry and stuff. You're like, I miss biology. I miss talking about frog organs and shit. That's when things made sense. So did you go see Captain Marvel?
Say what?
Did you see Captain Marvel yet? Oh no, you just said you.
75%.
Okay, yeah, all right. I guess I should
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
edit that out in post, considering we already talked about it.
Yeah, yeah. And from what I need to rewatch it, but it's probably top 5 worst. And I'm not even gonna say like, and we've said this on the show before. These movies aren't bad in the MCU. You know, it's some of them are just weaker than the others.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's some of them get by just on sheer like energy or charisma or comedy, and this one tried to do all of those things that they always do, and it just for some reason it wasn't quite landing in the same way that other ones do. But
And I'll say this positive about it though. Like I say there's 3 ways to watch the MCU. First, it's in chronological order how they came out with Iron Man, and then Hulk, Iron Man 2, go on and stuff work. Or you can watch them, you know, in the timeline where it starts with Captain America, and then in this timeline it would and go with Captain Marvel and then Iron Man 2 and so forth. I think if you watch this in that order, it would probably be better because it felt like a movie that needed to be in phase 1.
yeah, that's a good point.
Because of the tone of it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think if you watch it in that order, like it's on the line, in my opinion, of like the first Thor, the first Captain America, and even Iron Man 1. Not dissing those movies. It's just they were good for their time. But I think if you watch it, you might appreciate it a little bit better than just like coming right after Infinity War when you see like one of the best movies of all time, Caleb. And it's like bringing you back to phase 1. I think that's why I think they should just put it out a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I totally agree. Even Ant-Man and the Wasp kind of had that same problem and just feeling a little anticlimactic.
I agree. Yeah, definitely.
So you've been doing DJing gigs.
Yeah.
We've talked about it a little bit on other shows, but you had one last night. What was the venue?
Oh shoot, man! I'm glad you asked because I wanted to say something about this last night. You're gonna get a good exclusive. This venue was like a redneck bar, motorcycle type bar. But as you know, white man, they love hip hop music at times. Because you know when you drink, you just want to dance. You don't really want to like vibe to music that you want to cry to or like get in tune with. You just want to dance. Hip hop's got it for you. This was my second time being there, and I had a great playlist. I was playing good songs and stuff like that. Had the whole dance floor going. I'm perfecting DJing, by the way, because it's harder than just like playing songs that you think people would dance to. You gotta time them right. You gotta save the songs for certain areas. You can't just throw them with heavy hitters. Yeah, and there's a science to it, actually, and we learned that in our classes. So if DJing is harder than it looks,
that's cool.
You got to get through your crowd. You got to experiment with that. But I enjoyed myself. And I'm gonna go into a funny story, actually. So during the night, it's 12 o'clock, and at 12 o'clock they give out free shots. So I'm playing shots. And I had this idea because in this area, a lot of people like Latin music. And I got a lot of requests like back to back to play Latin music. And I was like, you know what? Since I'm getting all these requests for Latin music, I'm just going to play a lot of Latin music after 12 o'clock. I'm going to just do like 5 songs back to back to have the whole dance floor packed. So that's what I start doing. And after the second or third song, this old white man comes up to me and says, "Hey man," and he had a "Make America Great Again" hat.
Oh, nice.
Which is funny. And he's like, "Hey man, can you play 'Let Me Clear My Throat'?" Because he looks like he was from that time where that song was hot. And I was like, great choice, sir. So I play that, and a lot of people that he was with were having a good time. Then these 2 girls that were on the dance floor was like, "Wait, what gives? I thought you were gonna play Latin music." And I was like, "Yeah, but you know, money talks." And I brought like my tip jar, and they were just like, "Well, but when are you gonna play Latin music?" And I was like, "What? I can't hear you." You know, around saying that's my hearing aid. But she puts in about $6. Mind you, the other guy gave me 20, which was funny. 20 for one song, awesome. But anyways, so after that song was done, because he only asked for one song, I went back to Latin music. I was gonna do it anyway, but since you gave me money, more happy to do it. Then the guy comes back again and says, "Hey man, can you play Gangsta's Paradise?" I'm thinking, what a stupid choice. Everybody's dancing. You want to play this song? Not that I don't like the song, but it's like can't really dance to it.
Right.
He gives me $25. Shit, I cut it off in the middle of the song, and I just my request, Gangsta's Paradise. These girls looked at me like, really? And I showed them the 20. I was like, God bless you. So that was I ended up leaving with like $60 on top of like getting like 150 for the gig. So
that's great for you.
Oh, absolutely. I should have had this profession years ago. But at the end of the night, though, this is what just brought me back to reality. And this is the first time I heard something like racial in my town, because I was used to that in Panama City. But where I was at in Tampa was more of the country area than I am right now. I was leaving, and there was a different old white man sitting down with like a younger lady, and I'm leaving, and I hear him say like, "Yeah," and I ran into one of those banners in the bathroom, and I just froze as soon as I heard that. I was like, it just gave me flashbacks of being in Panama City, and I was like, did he really just say that? Like, and I just got immediately heated. I was like, I left a place like that thought stupid like that, and I just got used to not hearing ignorance like that, and it just immediately pissed me off. And I really wanted to kick him in the throat, but I was just like, and this is what kind of made me feel like shit, because like there might have been a time I would have done that before I had a child. But even then, I still would have like said something. Last night, I immediately froze, didn't do anything physical, and didn't say anything like to be like, "Hey, you're an asshole, grow up," or just I didn't say anything like confrontational like I probably would have back in the day. And it kind of like it showed like progression and it showed maturity on my end, but at the same time, I didn't want to. I wanted just to let him know like, you're a piece of shit. We don't need that in our society. And it just hearing racial stuff, regardless on any race, it just immediately pisses me off.
So this was the guy that was paying to have the music played?
No, this was a different guy,
okay.
Which you would. I don't know. Those are two different stories. But I would have said like I would expect that from the guy with the Trump supporting hat, and it wasn't him. So this was just another white guy, another old white guy.
Do you think that dude just loved Gangsta's Paradise, or do you think he liked you and he was trying to like connect with you?
That's a good question.
I mean, Gangsta's Paradise is a good song, but it's heavy, like heavy, like lyrically. It's like, oh, this is a bummer. Like nobody's gonna dance to this shit. It's like, oh man.
That's why I gave him that look. Like, okay, I mean, if this is what you want, I'm not gonna turn down $25.
Right? No doubt. I'll kill the fucking party for $25 too. Fuck that.
my boss actually encourages that too. Like, you go buy, whatever the crowd's liking, but if someone puts money in your pocket, yes, do you?
Yeah.
100%. But you make a good point though, because my whole life people like, and I don't want to keep bringing up white people making it a black and white thing, but when it comes to like country ass white people or like white people that don't seem like they see a lot of black people, I guess I do make a lot of those friends. A lot of them do like me, I guess, because I don't act white or don't act black or talk black, which is a stupid argument. I'm just educated. But like they seem like they're easier to talk to me than a dark skinned person, because they're scared of them. And I understand I have light skin privilege when it comes to that, which is, it sucks. That's the world we live in. And a lot of them want to be my friends sometimes. And I get that. Like, I'm outgoing and easy to talk to and fun to be around. So you make a good point. And what's sad though, because I feel like sometimes I'm thrown around as a trophy, like, hey, this is my black friend Ian.
Yeah.
After I just met you like 10 minutes ago. Like, I don't really know you, dog.
Yeah, I feel you. And for me, I don't know. I would have almost assumed that he would have done that with any black guy. But yeah, I don't think about, I guess because just my lack of actual experience, I don't think about it in terms of the light skin, dark skin bias. I'm just like, yeah, typically racist people don't like black folks, but that maybe they are easier on people that are lighter complected. That's crazy, man. But it's 100% true.
History, man. Look, think about it. Like my skin tone, me and Toddy's skin tone would have been in the house with, like Django, like you saw, what's her name, Kerry Washington in the house. That would have been us. The darker you are, and I've heard Nas actually said this in an interview. He said the darker you are in this country, the more you have to work. And I 100% agree with him. It sucks. It's like that because you are looked at like differently. And I was even guilty of that as a child. Like I really I would actually fear the darker, dread-headed people that in society that you think are going to rob you or, gangbang on you and stuff like that. I was dumb like that too. And I don't even know where that ignorance came from. Like my mom is as dark as the Ace of Spades too. So,
Interesting. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't have the answer for that. I was just thinking that Mexican people work pretty hard too.
They absolutely do. And the other guy, which was separate from the guy that just gave me money just to play 2 songs. He gave me $45 to play 2 songs. But back to the other guy, for him to say that word, and I was just like, and there was a lot of Hispanics there too. That was another reason why a lot of people wanted to hear Latin music. I was just like, what? Why? Why do you do that? I mean, I don't know the background between. I just knew it was a racial term, but I was just like, what satisfaction do you get labeling a whole group of people and downing them like they're beneath you? I don't get it.
And going out on a Saturday night in South Florida, not expecting to run into any Latinos. Like, come on, man. That's like, I don't know. I'm not surprised. I was talking to Caleb earlier, and we were talking about a situation over in Colorado. It was in Boulder, and this dude was out front with one of those clampers and a bucket, like a 10-gallon bucket, picking up trash out of his yard. And there was a cop patrolling through the neighborhood, and he saw this guy sitting under an awning behind what he said was a no trespassing sign. So he stopped to find out if the person was allowed to be there. Well, it turned out it was the guy's property. He just happened to be black. He was just chilling in his yard, cleaning up his shit. Cop brandishes a gun. 7 other police officers show up to the scene. Luckily, it didn't escalate anything past the guy being like, I'm in my own yard. No, I'm not putting down this tool. I'm picking up trash. You don't have the right to be here. But Caleb was saying that Colorado is racist, and not specifically. I mean, we talked through that. His statement initially was that Colorado is racist, and I was like, I don't, obviously a geographical place can't be racist, but people within any place can be racist, and I think that, I mean, a lot of people could speak to it a lot better than I can, but I think that there is that undercurrent in so many places. You want to feel like you're in a place that's progressive, but there's still almost this biased, like, I don't know if it's evolution, like we're just afraid of people that don't look like us, like we categorize them as the other tribally or some shit. I don't know what it is. I don't think everybody's like that, but it does seem like it's almost like a visceral reaction for some people. I don't know how to explain it.
No, I get 100% what you're saying. And speaking on that too, like I had friends that lived in California, and they said that they seen crazy racist people there too, and against like mostly Hispanics because they're close to the border. And I just, I'm like you in my head. I'm like, I thought California was, above that, but there's people sprinkled everywhere, like are ignorant.
Yeah. In Florida, it's like a very strange state in that the poorest and the richest people all like live in Florida. It seems like, I mean, obviously there are poorer places, but like the disparity of wealth is huge. There's so many retirement communities, but not a lot of places to work within them. And it creates this classism and I think that probably speaks to why there's as much like crime and weird shit going on in Florida, is just because there's so many people just like crammed into this big ass state.
Dude, I'm about to say something so stupid, but it makes sense in my head.
Bring it.
Florida is the Africa of the states, and it's going to make sense in a second. Africa is the richest continent on this planet with the poorest countries. And I think you just pretty much nailed that on the head about Florida. It's It's got a lot of rich retired people. It makes a lot of money, you know, doing like Disney and a lot of corporations and stuff like that. But we do got a lot of areas that are just like welfare, like crazy, like not on the same level. It's just like here or there.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
So that's what I got. That's the dumbass example I just thought of.
No, it's a good point. It's a good point. And I didn't even really think about the fact that Africa, like, I don't always think of the Middle East as Africa. I know that's kind of like just an ignorant common misconception. It's like sometimes when I'm not thinking about it, yeah, for sure. I just think of it as its own little island or some shit. I don't ever think of it in terms of geography. But yeah, they've got so many resources. And, you know, just lack of infrastructure in certain places, which poverty, there's also a lot of corruption in it. We've seen a lot of corruption in the government in Florida when it comes to voters and where precincts are set up and all sorts of ways of skewing the results in favor of what they want. And it's not just like... Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I can't speak to the experience of living in other states, so I guess I have a pretty narrow scope, to be honest, but we don't pay state tax here, so I think that makes shit a lot cheaper to live here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I get happy every time I see that part of my taxes, too. Oh, yeah. You have to pay a state tax? No, the hell I don't. Mm-hmm. Next.
I wonder how much they are. I guess it's a percentage, probably, not a flat rate.
Exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I let my wife take care of that stuff. Used to let H&R Block do it, and now I'm just like, here, do my homework.
Yeah. I feel you.
Suspiciously, I haven't gotten any money back since she started doing the tax return. I'm not saying that she's stealing it, but I have my suspicions.
You better watch her. This time of year, she got her hair done, her nails done, and stuff like that. New clothes and stuff. Like, where'd you get that?
Every tax season, yeah. No, it's probably because we're married. I don't know, but
what's mine is yours, baby.
Yeah. So, I don't know. What else is going on? You talked to Mick lately?
Say what?
Have you talked to Mick lately?
Oh, I need to call him back. I talked to him like last week. He's been traveling. He's head over heels with his new girlfriend. He's always talking with her. It's so funny too. Like, his girlfriend's a model and she posts pictures every day. Like, not because she's full of herself, but like it's because of her job. She's just trying to get more promotion and get more work and stuff like that. And I find it so funny. This dude likes and comments on every picture she posts. And that's cool. It's cute. It's cool. But I just find it so funny because, like, if my girl was a model and she did that every day, in the beginning, you'd probably get it, like, you know, every day for the next week or two. But after the third or fourth time, like, okay, you get it. You're cute. I don't have to keep telling you.
Yeah. Or I'll like it, but I'm not about to spend the fucking time to comment underneath it.
Yeah, you look like a fucking creep when you do that. That's like that's just me. But like, every time I go online, I see Mick liking it. Like, I'm so lucky. You're the most beautiful girl in the world. Every picture she posts, I bust out laughing like.
Mick, you're like, really motherfucker, you're gross. Cut that shit out. You're making me uncomfortable.
He's probably gonna see this and be like,
what's up, Mick? No, that's good. That's quality shit. That's how you know you're friends with somebody. That's what I believe.
For sure.
That's what I believe, and that's why I worry about this. Like, I think adversity breeds bonding. Like, you have to go through some sort of shit or go through some sort of hazing with each other because that's what builds camaraderie.
Absolutely. And I'll even mention something else with him. He's gonna laugh when he hears this too. But I've known Mick for years, but like we really actually became like really good. I consider him one of my best friends between when we started the podcast together. But before that, I knew him through another friend because Mick raps, and I had a friend that was a producer, and he introduced us, and I got into his music. But when we first started developing our new friendship, like getting closer, Me and my friends, my best friends as well, we joke around and clown a lot. That's just what we do. I even had to get used to that whenever I became friends with these other guys. And then I just joined in and I became funnier with it, in my opinion. But I started doing that with Mick. And about a month of that, I just started throwing out, funny one-liners and stuff like that. There was one time, though, I think he was in a bad mood. And he's like, yo, why you always talking shit, man? I was like, what? He's like, it seems like you're always trying to, be funny when you have a crowd and stuff like that. Honest to God, I had no idea what he's talking about. I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, I'm just tired of it. And like, I was like, my bad, dude. I didn't mean to offend you. I was just joking around. I do this with my best friends. If I didn't like you, you wouldn't get any jokes. I'd be like, you're my best bud, and I wouldn't be silly.
I guess you gotta know though.
Say what?
I guess you gotta like fill people out though, because other people are like more prideful and they don't want you fucking clowning. But like I feel like that's like busting balls is like a term of endearment. Like I don't ever think of it as like I'm not trying nobody. I'm not like stepping to them or like trying to like make them feel bad. Like I hope that people bust my balls. Like I don't know. Like it makes me feel more comfortable.
I love it. And I thought, because Mick is very brutal and very he's very uncensored with his jokes and stuff like that too. So I thought it wouldn't be a problem as well. So literally after he said that to me, I didn't do any of that for like maybe 2 weeks. Then this motherfucker is going to do that to me. He's going to make clown on me and do something funny. After that outburst, I was like, literally, I said to me. So after he did that, like after 2 weeks, I don't know what the joke was. It was so long ago, but like he did that to me, what I was doing to him. I was like, dude, why you always talking shit? I was quoting him. I was like, why you always got clown, man? And he busted out laughing. He's like, oh man, I don't know. I wasn't myself that day. So after that day, we do it all the time. Good. But I just thought it was so funny. I was like, really, dude? After that outburst, you gonna do that with me? I joke around with him all the time about that, though.
It's a happy ending. Oh,
yeah. Sure. We're in love, and I'm gonna give him a comment today. I miss you, baby. I love you.
Yeah, don't miss a fucking post, man. That's how you know that you're real friends. You comment under every post of each other's.
I'm the happiest guy in the world to have you as a friend.
Oh shit. Well, yeah, I guess I'm gonna go catch Captain Marvel here in a minute.
Awesome, man. I'm probably gonna watch it again on the bootleg at home. I mean, pay for a ticket.
Yeah, support your local theaters.
Speaking of, I got an early release to Shazam. Andy Signor hooked that up for me last night. So next week I'm gonna actually see the movie like a week before everybody else. And
are you going with him?
He's gonna be there. I'm not going with him, but like he gave me a ticket, like me and plus one. So
that's
I'm probably seeing there, but I'm not going with him.
That's awesome. I don't think he's probably listening to this, but I was gonna ask, is it cool like hanging out with him? Do you hang out with him? Y'all like pretty friendly at this point?
Yes and no. We actually talk more than we hang out. Like yesterday was the first time I like saw him since Aquaman came out. So that just shows you how long ago we've seen each other. But we randomly text each other all the time. Like he actually texted me 2 days ago asking my opinion on the Michael Jackson thing. We talk all the time, ideas and collaboration and stuff like that. But like it seems like our schedules are always intertwined. He always wants to get up whenever I have to work, and I always have to get up when he has to work. Yeah. But we talk all the time about personal stuff and stuff like that. So we are, I guess, getting closer. But I wouldn't start the clowning, joking stuff with him yet. Yeah,
no, I get it. So I know that like he's still actively pursuing stuff. Have you seen people in public respond to him positively for the most part?
Man, honestly, my highest viewed video is that the interview that we did, and props to you as well for helping me edit that. But that's my most disliked video, and that's the most commented video I have, most viewed video, and majority of them are ugly comments.
But that's different in person than on the internet.
Yeah. And what I was about to say, in person, every time I'm with him, And when we're together, it's always a big bunch of people that are nerds. And I'm like, these guys have to know who he is. They're a bunch of nerds. They have to know what Screen Junkies is and shit like that. We were at literally a video game convention. He got nothing but love. A lot of people like loved him. Like, so it's just, I think we're seeing the blurred lines of what the internet has this misconception of people that have no filter. They think it's a bulletproof vest. They can just say whatever they want to whoever they want because they know nothing's gonna happen. But Andy, we've had this conversation actually. Like, he's literally had nobody come up to him like, "Hey, you're a pedophile," or "You're not pedophile. You're a sexual predator," or "Hey, you're an asshole." Hey, all the stuff they say about him online. Nobody says this to him in his face. Never.
I was going to say, if the person at the gaming convention did feel that way, they just wouldn't approach him. They just walk by. People aren't as emboldened in person. Absolutely. They don't really want to start any shit. They just think they do online.
Exactly. And then we're in a big town, too. And people say, he says people recognize him all the time. So it's like, this is why I just hate the internet sometimes. Like, it's not a bulletproof vest. Like, in those comments in that video I have, damn well you wouldn't say that to him in his face. I'm not even calling him a tough guy or nothing because he's not. But, like, at least he has the balls to stick up for himself. And he does it all the time on Twitter. And I commend him for that. But, like, it just sucks. Dude, be yourself online and offline. That's me. Like, this engagement we're having, this dialogue we're having, I'm the same online. I'm not going to say something that I wouldn't say to somebody online that I wouldn't say in their face. And that's just, it kills me how people are.
Do you ever, single out any sort of, somebody you didn't agree with and throw shade at them, repeatedly?
I'm sure I have.
I usually... There's one friend on my Facebook. No, there's 2 or 3 friends on my Facebook that I will constantly engage with, even though I know it's not going to go anywhere good. They're my friends, but they post this just garbage out into the ether and think that nobody's going to call them on it. And I'm just right there, fucking typing away at them. And we'll go back and forth. And then eventually I'm like, Jeremy, you've got to find better things to do with your time.
Dude, I had that, I've had that same issue for the longest, but I literally had to unfollow these people. I'm like, look, the more you feed into this bait that they keep throwing out to you, the more dumber you get and the more time of your life that is, that movie Out of Time with Justin Timberlake, the more you're giving them the time of your life. I literally, I love you to death, but I can't look at the shit that you keep posting. You're triggering the fuck out of me. You're doing it on purpose. I hate you. Stop.
I got a buddy that says that Spider-Man Homecoming is racist propaganda because MJ won't go into the Washington building because it was built by slaves. And I'm like, dude, just because one character said that as a character in a movie does not mean that the movie has an agenda, and he cannot fucking accept that.
That'd be one I'd have to follow. I'd have to say something one time at least. Like, what the fuck? What is your logic?
It drove me nuts, dude. It drives me fucking nuts.
I can't beat those trolls.
Do you have, for me, and I don't know, maybe I'm an empathetic person, maybe I just am not easily triggered. I have friends that they've got some really shitty views, but I still think they're decent people.
Yeah, me too. Like, I grew up with this dude and his family. They used to let me come in all the time. They used to feed me, give me stuff. Like, they would treat me like a child, but they don't like Middle Easterns, or they have this misconception about black people. And that they have a good heart, but it's just they're in a box though with their good heart. And I'm the same way too. I just can't be one of those people that just cancel you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know genuinely you're a good person, but you're just lacking education in, it's kind of like we said earlier, in certain areas, and it makes you look foolish and ignorant. And we just can't have these certain conversations.
Yeah, that's it, to kind of bring it all home, as you said in the beginning, and that's everybody can't excel in everything, and everybody is flawed. And I think that that's very much a part of the human experience. You know, you can try to educate your friends. Even that is, eventually you're going to know, am I just pissing in the wind here, or am I actually having some sort of breakthrough? And either you decide then, am I going to still fuck with this person? Can I accept them for who they are? Or do I need to like push them out of my life? And obviously there's clearly examples where you're going to want to just ditch the baggage. But, you know, for the most part, it's like you can have some backwards views about certain things, and me just kind of like, yeah, but what about this thing over here? Let's talk about this thing. And it works for a while, but yeah, I don't know. Mostly in my day to day.
I had a friend like that too, like, and I still think he's a good person, but I don't really consider him a friend anymore, because we just, to the point we disagreed on so much, like we really didn't have anything to talk about. So we just kind of really just feel like he always had something negative about Black Lives Matter. He's a Trump supporter. He thinks he thinks the DC movies are better than Marvel movies. He thinks that white privilege isn't a thing. He thinks that feminism is stupid. He thinks that he says terrible things about women and need to stay in their place and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, the more and more we had these conversations, the more like we would debate. It was just like, dude, like, I never knew you were such a douchebag. I just, because we agreed on other things, but like we just, eventually, the more and more we talked to each other, like we have nothing in common. Like, I guess we
You're like,
grew out
The
of our
Last
friendship.
Jedi was okay, and he was like, The Last Jedi was fucking propaganda.
The worst movie of all time. They ruined Star Wars. and I don't disagree with like the criticism of Last Jedi, but as a film critic, I think that I like that he took risks.
Yeah, I'm
I
with
can
you.
say that. The ball's in the guy.
Yeah, I'm
They're
with
big.
you. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, oh, that's not what I was expecting to happen. That's wild.
Mhm.
All right. Well, good talk, man. It was a pleasure as always. We'll have to do this again soon.
Thank you. Absolutely. I appreciate you having me and thinking about me this series, man. And yes, you've called me out, and I definitely want to schedule something with you. We got to figure this out.
All right.
I want to do something with Caleb as well. I want to do maybe a countdown list of superhero movies or something like that.
Yeah, something that he'll be real receptive to.
Yeah, he's on thin ice too. I might drop him as a friend with his Batman v Superman Infinity War bullshit he's been saying.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. All right, man. Well, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Much love.
Yeah, you too.